night. Now that I'm an older boy, well, I just want a wife. If I had a sweetheart, I'd put her on the shelf. Every time she smiled at me, I'd crawl up there myself. Fare thee well, little old Joe Park. Fare thee well, I'm bound. Fare thee well, little old Joe Park. Goodbye and sit round. When I was a little girl, I used to play with toys. Now that I'm an older girl, I want to play with... No.
Okay.
You stay away from boys. They're no good for you. They're rascals, every one of them. Oh, that's the only advice old Boston's going to give you today, too, if you're lucky, huh? Well, I welcome you to the bunkhouse, to the sleep camp, to the ram's pasture, if you will, where I got room for 72 little lambs to lay their heads. That's right, there's 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. Now, if you're a nice, quiet sleeper, that's fine. But is there any blanket robbers here? Yeah, there you got somebody pointing at you already. Oh, if you're a blanket robber there, we might have to put a snorting pole between you here like the Johnson brothers. Well, not so much blanket robbing they are, but that younger Johnson boy got married this past summer, and he's always rolling over and putting his arms around his older brother. And they start scuffling and waking everyone up. So we put a snorting pole up between them. Well, again now, my name's Boston, and I am the bull cook in the camp. Bull cook, what do you suppose a bull cook would be doing?
Cooking bull.
Ready.
You see a bull in the camp?
Yeah.
Well, a little bit of that, sir, I do that. But in the olden days now, and I can tell you about the olden days because I've been around a bit, the fella that had my job used to have to boil up the meal for the oxen, the bull. No, you see no oxen in camps anymore, do you? But somehow the name just stays. That happens sometimes. So, there's no bulls, but anybody here have to do chores? Oh, I know you got chores anyway. Yeah. Well, that's what I do in the camp. I do chores. Oh, well now, the fires here, for instance. Now the stoves, they just don't burn by themselves. Somebody's got to cut the wood, chop the wood, stack the wood, keep the fires going. Not just this stove here, but all the stoves in the camp. My work. It's great. So if you come in here sometimes during the day and you see me napping, that's why I'm up at night at times, stoking the fires. Oh, I have to do that. Oh, then come noontime, I'm the most popular fella in the whole camp. What do you suppose would make me popular among these here jacks, huh?
Serving food.
You're thinking with your stomach, aren't you? That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take the noon meal out to the men, I will. Well, the horses take it out, I just ride along. Sometimes a cook's helper will come along with me. So I'll have to do that every day. Whoa. Now let me tell you right now, you get paid out here based on what? Do you know that? Skill and danger. More skill, more danger, the more money you make. Now I make $20 a month, I do. It's not going to put a twinkle in very many ladies' eyes, I know that. But $20 a month I make. Well, there's not a lot of skill or danger in my job, except for one thing. Now let me ask you, have you ever had to wake anyone up in the morning? Well, I have to wake up 71 fellas in here. How do you go about doing it?
Tap.
No, tap, yeah.
You don't tap, you gotta stay.
That's not going to work at all. Even with the length of the broom here, that's not going to be very safe. So I have to, and I apologize in advance here, because I know a lot of you ladies probably never had to raise your voice. Is that true?
True. Yes.
That's right. But I do. I have to yell, and I yell something they've been yelling in logging camps for many, many years. Does anyone even know what that is?
Daylight in the swamp.
That's what I yell. Daylight in the swamp. Time to get out of your bunks, get out there and cut down some trees and bring daylight to parts of the swamp that probably haven't seen that in hundreds of years. So, daylight in the swamp! Roll out your burning daylight! And then the jacks will get up, sit on the deacon bench like you're doing now, throw on some clothes, maybe go out and visit the little house out there, or come back here, wait for the Gabriel horn to sound, telling them it's time for breakfast, that's right. They'll go have their breakfast, come back here, finish dressing, grab their tools, walk about, I think it's about a mile now out to the cut. And then do you know what happens? Then the sun comes up. And I don't see them again because they don't start back here till the sun goes down.
How about lunch?
Well, that's what I take out to them there. That's gonna keep them from wasting all that time coming back, isn't it? Sure. Oh, you gotta be working when you can see. That's the hours around here,
Yeah.
right? Can see to can't see. So, now how often does that happen?
Every day.
Almost every day, that's right.
Except Sunday.
Well, the horses need a rest, so they give us Sunday off. Unless, of course, we're falling behind, then maybe we'll be working on Sunday. Of course, then if you work for old Moonlight Pike, you might be out there working under the light of the moon there. Nobody likes to work for him, but that's fine. 1 year I did, but that's all, no more. So, 6 days a week that's gonna happen. And then on Sunday, it's a day of rest, isn't it? So what do you do on your Sundays? Sleep. Well, now, some of the fellas asleep. Of course, then if they miss breakfast, they get a little upset, don't they? That's right. So some will sleep, some will go, some will mend, work on their tools. Right, the swampers back here, make sure their axes are nice and sharp, using the grindstones there, the whetstones. Ooh, some folks can read, some can write. So they might do that on the Sunday. That's right. So, I have another very important job too. Ladies, and I'm going to address this to the ladies. I'm not excluding the fellas here, but how many of you boil up on Sunday?
It's laundry.
That's right. Boil up. I boil up the water because I have to wash the aprons and the towels for the cook. And then I invite anybody that wants to use that hot water to wash their clothes. They're welcome to do that. But there's never a very long line. Oh no. Sometimes that's all you own is what you're wearing. Now sometimes you see clothes hanging up here, but that's not because they've been laundered, but because they've been sweating and they're up here to dry. You know what wet wool smells like? Especially when it hasn't been laundered in months. Oh, I'm not going to lie to you now. This doesn't smell like that new Pokegama hotel there in Grand Rapids. No. You're out here, what, 16 weeks? You don't go home, do you? Well, if you want to lose your job, maybe you go home, but you're out here 16 weeks. And it's well now, I'm going to give you an example here of what it is. Now, I didn't want to get into the smelling part of the bunkhouse, but now that I started, I can't get away from it. But the other morning I yelled, "Daylight in the swamp!" And I hear a scream come from Ole Lindgren's bunk. So I run down there, I say, "Ole, what's the problem?" Well, the poor fella, his whiskers had frozen to the wall. I say, "Ole, why you got your head up against the wall?" Well, the smell was so bad that night that he'd taken some of the chinking out from between the logs, stuck his nose up there to get some fresh air. And I don't blame him a bit. That's right. Well, because there's several things in here you just have to live with. Like the greybacks. That's right. Body lice. Maybe you know them by body lice. Well, it's a fact of life in the logging camps. But I appreciate when folks like you come and visit, because there's always a lot less in here when you leave than when you come in. So I thank you for that. So if you want to put some cedar boughs in your bunk and chase them to the next bunk, you're welcome to do so.
Well, we best be getting on to see the rest of camp there.
Whoa, well, would you like to go out with a tour maybe?
Yeah.
Or I can see there's some kicking up the heels on the way out there if you like. Let's see. Oh yeah, old slack jaw small there, I recognize ya.
Thank you.